Good morning, good morning. I did not get to sleep as long as I wanted to because, well, she's right here. It's fine. It's 8:24, so I've been awake since like 7:40, so I wanted to sleep a little longer, but oh well. I am home all day. I work this afternoon or this evening because of Tuesday rehearsal. And yeah. Forgot to mention too that one of my coworkers at the bakery who worked in the decorator's room, but she checks a lot of the orders for me and all of that. She wasn't at work on Wednesday because she wasn't feeling well on Tuesday. Not like bad enough to not come to work, but then she was out on Wednesday and then was back yesterday. And she literally just traveled out of state for a wedding. And I was like, how much do I want to bet that she's actually sick with COVID? So we shall see. I feel fine, but I'm taking my elderberry like gummies and all of that and just trying to keep in mind that that could happen, or even if it isn't that she could be sick with something else. But I am just waiting. It's September 1st, literally today, and they have said that there will be that they're working on the new COVID vaccine, and it should be the updated vaccine, and it should be available this month. So really would love that as soon as humanly possible. On another note, there is a lot to do today. As I said, I've got the sort of to-do list that's continuing to develop. It's got to be stuff that has to be done over the next few days and weeks and things like that. So I'm about to go put that together. I have hopefully those are still good. I have some Pillsbury biscuits that I want to make. So I'm going to put those in the oven while I take a shower. So I find it super interesting that for some reason, the only like Diary of Anne Frank plays you can find online, which I know there's only one, but it's all from like a school book, and I'm like, that's great, but I also know for a fact there is a literal like play book. So I find it interesting that like you can't find that one online. I was reading through it just because I was about to send in my request to audition, and I was really debating if I wanted to audition. I know I want to audition for Margot, the older sister, for sure. I don't know about Anne, and I don't know about... Hang on. I don't know if I want to audition for Anne as well as for Maya. Yeah. Also, this is off topic. I love my managers, but like we literally set a time to check in because they want to do like weekly check-ins, and I'm like, okay, that's great. We set it for 11 a.m. and I messaged her and I was like, hey, are we still on for that? And she was like, yeah, let me know what time works for you. I was like, okay, well, now is when we talked about, but I'm good before any time before 4. And she was like, okay, let's plan on 2. What happened to our original plan? Anyway, I was like, I purposefully wasn't doing specific things earlier today because I knew we had this meeting coming up, and now it's been pushed back. Anyway, the other thing is too, though, for these characters is we have to, I'm assuming, memorize a specific monologue for each character that we want to audition for. So if I want to audition for all 3, I need to memorize the monologue for all 3 of them. I'm assuming. The other thing too is Anne is, as I said, I read through the whole play and like, wow, that's a lot. Like it's a lot, and I know that. I think it's definitely like there's a part of me that is like, oh my gosh, like if I happen to be selected for it, could I even do it? Like the memorization and things like that. It's just the fear of being like, could I actually do that? But I don't want to let fear get in the way of auditioning for that role. The only thing that's holding me back from Maya, as dumb as it sounds, I need to make sure I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Hang on. Because I suck. Hang on. It's gonna play a video in a second. Is she's pregnant at the beginning and at the end, and I don't know why that makes me uncomfortable, but it does. Meep. Meep. Sorry. I thought it was my bad. Meep. Well, someone says I think the G is soft. Oh, in her last name. So yes, I would obviously for sure learn it before going in. So I don't know why that like kind of makes me uncomfortable because it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still debating. I don't have to send it in today, but I would like to so I can check it off my list. Anyway, on another note, I am going to go through, because there's tons of stuff, you know, as I said, little things that I need to do. I think I'm going to right now watch through one or two of the films for the film festival that I am helping judge, and then I am going to update. I have like 40 people who have signed up for my database over the past multiple few months, and I have someone who requested I send out a casting call for them for a role in something, and so I want to make sure that the database is updated before I send that out because I wouldn't want to accidentally leave anyone out. But anyway, let's watch 2 films. So it's like almost 4 p.m. I did have my call with my manager, and I was sitting here, and I was like, man, why am I tired? And I realized, well, it's almost 4 p.m. and all you've had today, I made some Pillsbury biscuits. I have 4 of those. And some gummy bears. That's not food. So, I have finally heated up one of the things from Aldi, which is fully cooked. You just heat it up in the microwave. Chicken with barbecue sauce. Blueberries. So, we're gonna stop. I have a cat trying to get to the food. Okay. It's really good. It's so good. And I love it because it's fully cooked already, so I don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh. It's so good. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. The one thing though is it says this can feed 3 people. Maybe I'll get 2 meals out of it, but like there's no way that would be 3 meals. I'm like especially impressed because the sauce is so flavorful, but it's not spicy. Also, I did watch that movie Red, White, and Royal Blue. Rated R, heads up. It's based off of a book, and that's the book I picked up from a friend of mine, but I'd heard so much about the movie I figured I'd watch it while I was working on other stuff. If you lick these blueberries, I'm gonna be so mad. And while I was at my friend Lindsay's house weeks ago, before she went to college, we watched the first episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I read the first book in that series, but I didn't read the other 2 because I wasn't interested enough. But the second season of the show recently came out, and so I figured I'd keep watching it, because why not? But I'm rewatching the first episode because I need a refresher. Here's what's so impressive about this show. Work took me longer than it should have, because I was watching some of these episodes. I'm on episode 5 out of 7. What's really interesting is there's a few like flashback scenes that we do. Sometimes we see, they technically have had 3 groups of actors. The main one, a middle one, and then a really young one. We've seen a little bit of the middle, but this scene that they're doing right now is them at this same age, but they did so well with changing their hair. And for the girl, Lola, who plays Belly, they gave her like braces and like her big glasses, and then they just did the same thing for Conrad, where they put glasses on him and like a backwards baseball cap. And I was like, you just totally aged that person down. Like, that is amazing. That's incredible. Anyway, so that's always so impressive when they can do that. So it's dark, you can't see me. It's after midnight, but I am going to bed. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all. Bye.